What we saw between 2008 and 9 and 2012 was a decline in auto show attendance overall because the economy was going down, because we were having problems with the recession, because car sales were going down in general, and people felt broke and they couldn't buy a car. When automakers sort of stepped back a little bit, either decreased the size of their displays, decreased their presence, Nissan stepped out of Detroit for a couple of years, things like that. The consumers then they'll kind of forget about you, and they kind of say, oh well, you know, it's not a signal of confidence to the consumer if the automaker chooses to skip out on a heavily important international show.
What effect do you see technology having?
Technology has changed the landscape in auto shows in that you can get a lot more information from the show out a lot faster into a much broader audience. So, for example, you're living in LA and you decide that you want to go see the show, but you maybe live in San Diego and you want to know what's going on in the LA show. You can jump online for a lot of things and catch webcasts of press conferences. You can see different things from that perspective. So the information goes out wider than it used to. Before, you had to actually go. Now you don't necessarily have to be there to see everything.
Auto shows are extremely costly to produce. Are automakers actually getting a good return on investment?
With an international auto show, the automaker contributes more to the stand and contributes more to the cars that are there and chooses to do national reveals and concept car reveals and things like that. And that's where the cost really gets in. And the return there is communicating your story, and the importance of making sure that the stand is what you want it to be is all about making sure that your image is that the automaker's image is what they want it to be and what they want to show consumers. When you look at a regional show, the cost there, I believe, is mostly borne by the dealers' associations themselves. So I don't think that's as much of an expense for an automaker. It brings us to the point of auto shows kind of having two purposes. International auto shows like Detroit, LA, and Chicago and New York share international designation, and it rotates amongst them year on year. The international component of that and the industry component of that is the couple of days before the show starts, when the media comes in and gets the opportunity to hear from the automakers about what they feel is important about their car, and you get to talk to the executives, you get to see the cars that way. That's one huge component of the show, and that's what sort of helps elevate the importance of the international shows to media, because people write about them and you hear about them. When you go to a smaller regional show, that is much more about dealers and getting consumers in. And even on the international shows, the second 10 days or so of the show will be all about consumers. And if you look at who's organizing the auto shows, it's all dealers. And really, at the end of the day, for the dealers, it's a way to get consumers interested in buying cars and give consumers an opportunity to see a bunch of different cars.